This is the rantings of a typical and average individual. At first glance, I might seem like an average individual with opinions ranging from religious to political. So, without getting too literal, I suppose I am an average individual. So much so, sometimes I'm downright invisible. But right now, I'm not, so I'm going to give some advice and rant a little about what's on my mind. Excuse me if I talk fast, but unlike the hands of a clock, I don't have much time on my hands. Now, let's say I want to ask the girl I love for her hand. Given the fact that that sort of thing is only embraced in 33 states, meaning that our vows would only be valid 66% of the time, and it seems to me that being average means being able to be wed. So since I'm a woman in my bed on my wedding night, I'm only 66% average because I only have 66% of the rights an average person might. The math doesn't lie, therefore, in my opinion, that ain't right to support the claim. You can be normal if you do it the right way. In other words, you better walk the straight and narrow like a sobriety test. You better not wobble, all eyes on you. You better not stumble or get cuffed up, locked up. The fact that you just turned 21 and this is the first time that you hit the bottle is not an excuse for stepping on the throttle. There's no learning curve on this model. You have to follow one shot with another because you don't know your limits on how much you can swallow. You can get behind the wheel at 15, get your license at 16. That's a whole year you have to learn the trade, and there's a test. You gotta make the grade. Turn 21 and there's no bar you have to take to enter a bar. That's the first mistake. No experience necessary except the words you've always heard. Be responsible when you drink. But you see, alcohol distorts your ability to think, so let's think for a minute. Yeah, and it seems obvious to me at just 19 to see that driving drunk is a hell of a lot worse than just being drunk. So maybe the law should be changed. That way, by the time you learn how to drive, you already know how to drink. Then maybe, just maybe, thousands of lives could be saved. But hey, I'm not normal. Just your typical and average individual. So who cares what I have to say? When I've said it once, I've said it a dozen times in a dozen different ways, hoping at some point it'll sink into the brain. Let's put our brains to use, contemplate what this world would be like if we gave a little more respect to the people we talk toward. We all come from the same place, all members of the human race, but what are we racing towards that makes people feel like they gotta destroy the self-esteem of anyone without the same beliefs? Man, you're tripping up people who didn't ask for it, who didn't know they were in a competition of who could be the least different. We all have views, opinions with reasons we believe. The fact that you don't agree doesn't mean you get to destroy them by any means necessary because you don't support them, forcing your own thoughts because you think it's more important. You can object without objectifying. You don't lessen yourself by equalizing. Sadly, it's become normal to be crucifying. However, I'm not your average individual. Stand by and watch it. You can call me a hopeless equalizer. I'm making my mission to stop it.